Hi again, everyone. We're all back. We have got rads to my left.
Yeah, wonder where it was then.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to be here, mate. Thank you.
It's that. Well, then it's Barnsley away on Wednesday. How do you feel going into it?
Yeah, I think the weekend was. I went on Doors channel the other day, and I was saying pretty much the same thing. I think the first half was pretty poor, to be honest. Obviously, we went into it losing. Obviously, second half I think was encouraging for sure. So I think based off of that, I should feel pretty confident. But we haven't got the best record away at Barnsley. I think most Forest fans know that. We haven't won there, I'm pretty sure, since we won 5-2, which is years ago. So yeah, it's not the best record. Obviously, we lost that last season and the year before that. So yeah, we need to improve that. I think we've lost that the last few times. So yeah, but of course, Barnsley aren't doing as well as last season, so we do need to make the most of that. I believe they're only like 3 places above us, so yeah, it's a huge game, really, even this early in the season. So yeah, I'm quietly confident. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you on based on Saturday's game that first half, bar the first 10 minutes, Millwall did dominate us, which I Forest didn't really know how to beat down Millwall, but I felt like Steve Cooper's whatever he did at half time seemed to work because we seemed to be more competitive in that second half.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it definitely changed something at half time. We just seemed a lot more up for it, attacking minded. We were constantly making mistakes in that first half. Passing it back to the goalie all the time, which was infuriating everyone.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, I think it was that 5-2 last time when we beat Barnsley. I mean, even back then we were scoring goals but conceding for fun. So
yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, it is a bit of a bogey ground as well, Barnsley. So it will be a very tough game. I mean, from where they came from last season, I mean, does it surprise you?
What the Barnsley did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does. To be honest, I don't think anyone expected them to do, 5th place, getting the playoffs. It was a complete fluke, really, and they're probably their best year that they've ever had, or it's got to be one that's up there at the very least, finishing 5th in the Championship after just staying up the year before that. I think the fact that they've lost, obviously, a few key players like Alex Mowat, for instance, and Connor Chaplin, obviously the manager, I think that's probably not really helped them out. And I don't really know what made them play so well last season. Maybe it was momentum from the year before. Maybe even not having fans there. I suppose it could have helped a few teams, I guess. But yeah, I don't really know why they've dropped off. But then again, that's what they kind of gone back to type, really. But from what I've seen of them, they haven't really played much worse than I saw last season. They're just not scoring as much, which ultimately is what it's all about. So yeah, I wouldn't underestimate them at all. They've still got some good players in there, like Callum Styles, for instance. So yeah, I think it was a bit of a surprise to see them do so well, but they're still a decent team on paper.
Do you feel like that we could keep this 3-4-3 formation or 3-4-2, whatever formation it is against Barnsley?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's definitely a formation in time that I think we will really take to, because obviously with Huddersfield we didn't have Cooper managing us, but I think it was clear that it was implemented because we knew Cooper was going to come in. And as I think I said in a previous preview, Cooper's been on the cards for quite a while, and I think it feels to me like we've been working towards him. And to be honest, I think when Murphy came in, he said in his interview, well, Chris Hughton's a great manager, but I think he probably knew all along, well, I kind of want a manager to fit my mould, and I don't really think Houghton fitted into it. So I think really from the start of when Murphy came in, his days are kind of numbered, really. And I think Cooper, 100%, he fits what Murphy wants to try and do, bringing in like young players and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think we will definitely keep it because it's what Cooper tends to play. I think obviously the three at the back formation, I think it has been working well. And I just can't believe how much the fullbacks have improved in such a short space of time. Like, we've gone from, Gaetang Bong and Jordan Gabriel to Max Lowe and Jed Spence. It's pretty mental, that. So, yeah, I think we will keep it, to answer your question. I think it will take time to adapt. So that, I think Wall, obviously, it was kind of his fault for the goal that Matt Smith scored, because he was kind of completely outjumped, and it just shows that Wall isn't completely perfect, even though he is obviously a fantastic defender. I think players like him, obviously, they spent most of their career playing with the two centre backs, so it might just take him a bit of a time to adapt. But obviously, I think in time we'll get there, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you on that one, to be fair. I mean, especially with them sort of windows, that the number 10s that in that formation, it was quite exciting, because obviously Lolly and Brennan been playing so well. Then you got Dinardo and Martin on the bench as well. So to have that bit of competition with them four will prove for us different.
For sure, yeah. It just shows that we've got a great team. With you can leave players like them on the bench, and you've got great options. If you're losing, that's some great players that could change the game.
Yeah, I do actually agree with that. I mean, Grabban looking like he's going to be... We're not sure if he's going to be fit or not for Wednesday. I imagine that he will all be fit after Saturday, but do you feel like that it will be a big mess?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. I think he has improved in recent weeks. He's definitely been deserved of his criticism from, I think, all of us at times have criticised Grabban with his attitude and his efforts as well. Even this season, I remember against Wolves, obviously it's a completely different kind of game, but he didn't seem up for it at all. He seemed quite unfit. But based off how Lyle Taylor's played recently, I do think it is going to be a bit of a miss, because Grab's, I don't know, he just seems a bit more of his old self again. His goal against Huddersfield was classic Lewis Grabban, really. I don't mind Taylor, but I just think he hasn't looked up for it, really, and he spends more time on the floor than on the pitch half the time. So yeah, I think based off the fact that Taylor's not on form, is a bit of a worry. Maybe you could see someone like Xander Silva or even a Will Swan get a chance. I think one of them probably will be on the bench at the very least, but I think we will play Taylor, to be honest. But overall, I'm not massively worried that we don't have Grabban, but I would prefer it if we did, of course.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, Grabban was just in that bit of form before he came off, so it's a shame that it did come off. I would have my money on him scoring.
Yeah, I think like I said, he's starting to look like he's not as good as what he has in previous years, but he was little hints that he was starting to find his form again. That we know when he's on his form, he's one of the best strikers in the league, really.
I do agree. I forgot what I said there. I do think as well, especially with the power ground coming in. I mean, it will offer that bit more, that competition, that Polidano and Yates will finish, because them two seem to be the main two at the minute.
Yeah. With the Jada, obviously we haven't seen anything of him. But like you said, I think he'll definitely will offer good competition. I'm not one of these people that rips into Ryan Yates. I don't think he's an incredible player, but he's not a bad one either. I just think he's just in the middle, really. And I don't think Garner's been quite at the levels he was last season. But he is still the best midfielder we have, in my opinion. We had the likes of Colback, who is just an average player, in my opinion. He's not a good player. And I mean, would I give Vajeda a chance? I mean, obviously he's not really trained with us much. I think he started training with us recently, but I think to answer your question, I think Vajeda will definitely feature the longer time goes on. And I've also heard he's not going to go on international duty with Paraguay, which I think would be a smart move, given the fact he's hardly had a chance to settle with us.
I think a couple of 123 games will like really settling in. I mean, yeah, fair enough, he won't be first in football, but he will get that sort of used to the sort of way that we are going to be playing it. I mean, we do play attacking football anyway, so
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, have you got a scoreline for Wednesday?
I mean, I think we need to get that win in the Cooper, and I think there were definitely signs that we were going to beat. I think we could have beaten Millwall. Really, we had enough chances.
Yeah.
We didn't really have any like clean cut chances though. Often we just got near the box, and the ball went like near the goal. And obviously Lowe's goal was a cross really, but ended up back in the net. It was a great finish in the end. But yeah, I think Barnsley obviously. They're not doing as well as last season, which I think we expected to happen. And with obviously our record there is pretty dreadful. So I could see it being a draw, but I would like us to win, of course. And I think I can't see us losing. I'd be disappointed if we lost, given Barnsley's position. So I think it would be 1-1 or maybe like 1-0 to Forest, to be honest.
Yeah. You got anyone in mind to score?
Lolly's starting to look like his old self again, which is great. And we're saying that about grabbing. If we can get those two firing again, it's fantastic. And obviously we've had Myson come through in the last year. Johnson's now here, Zinkernagel, and it's good that we're getting one of the players that's been with us for quite a few years now, starting to look good again, which is fantastic. If we can get Jalali back, we're already halfway there really. So I'd like to say Lolly. To be honest, I want him to get. He got a goal against Hoods, didn't he? But get another one would be great for his confidence.
Exactly, especially with Saturday, and it's just saying the international break is coming when it is.
Yeah, it feels only like last week that we had the last one, so it's coming around really quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't seem 5 minutes. It's like,
yeah,
it'd be nice. So I'd like to say thank you for coming on.
Yep, no problem.